Given this equation in general form, find the vertex, the focus, the directrix of this parabola, and answer, does the parabola open up or down? And do all of this without completing the square to get the equation into the standard form, which makes it so easy to read that information. We're going to do it without completing the square. So let's do step 1. Let's find the vertex, HK, of the equation was given to us in this form: y equals a times x squared plus b times x plus c. Okay, so that's y equals negative 1/2 x squared minus 3x plus 2. And when you compare that, we see that the lowercase a is equal to negative 1/2. And let's see, what else do we have? The b is equal to negative 3, and the c is equal to positive 2. So now we'll get the x coordinate of the vertex. That's what we call h. And we have a formula for that. It's equal to negative b over 2 times a. We've seen this before, this formula. Okay, so that means that h is equal to negative b, parenthesis is negative 3. So it's negative and negative 3, double negative, over 2 times a, where a is negative 1/2. Now, 2 times 1/2, the 2's are going to cancel. And that's going to be positive 3 on the top over negative 1. So that's going to be negative 3. So that tells us that the h-coordinate in our vertex is equal to negative 3. Okay, now let's find the k-coordinate. The k is the function that we're given, y, or f of x, but it's evaluated at the h-coordinate. Okay, so that's the other formula we've seen before. That means it's f of negative 3, because we found h to be negative 3. But the f is the y equals negative 1/2 x squared minus 3x plus 2. So this is negative 1/2 times negative 3, parenthesis, that's my x squared, minus, not plus, 3 times the x, which is negative 3, 3 times negative 3, plus 2. So that simplifies as negative 1/2 times negative 3 squared. Negative times negative is a positive 9, minus 3 times negative 3. So that's a double negative, positive 9, plus 2. That equals negative 9/2 plus 11. 9 plus 2 is 11. So now we get a common denominator, so we can do the addition. Negative 9/2 plus 22/2. And that simplifies down to positive 13/2. So our k value is equal to positive 13/2. All right, thus we have our vertex v is equal to h, which was negative 3, and k, which is positive 13 over 2. For step 2, we're going to find the value for p. P equals question mark. So I want to start by starting a sketch that includes the focus and the vertex. Well, we're not sure exactly where the focus is, but we know where the vertex is. So we can do a rough sketch. And this is just to help us visualize. We're actually not going to use the sketch so much as use it as a visualization. So we found the vertex to be located at negative 3. So we're going to go to the left side of the origin, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Then we're going to go up to 13/2. Now 12/2 would be 6. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're above 6. 13/2 is just a little bit above 6. So we're not going to be absolutely perfect, just a little bit higher. Will take us to this location, and that is our vertex V. Now let's get a dotted line going vertically down. This is our axis of symmetry, but it helps us visualize what's going on here. So the focus would be located, however, the absolute value of P. we know that the A value, we know something about the A value. The A value that we established in step 1, A is equal to negative 1/2. And that implies sad face. So we already know that this thing's opening down because the A value is negative. Okay, so it's going to be opening similarly to this sketch. This is just a rough sketch, opening down, going through the vertex. Okay, so we're not sure exactly where the focus is. It's somewhere down here, the focus F, and the directrix will be the same distance up and down. So this distance is what we call the absolute value of P. And it's the same distance above, that's the absolute value of P, that will take you to a dotted line, which is our directrix. Okay, DIR. But we're trying to find the value of P. It would be nice to know what the absolute value of P is, but we don't know that. We're going to use the given fact that A is equal to negative 1/2, this information here, to find the answer. We are going to say that negative 1/2, our A value, is equal to 1 over 4 times P. The reason we know that is because we are told in note 144 that A, I'll say because, we know that A is equal to 1 over 4 times P. That's given information in the introduction of the parabola. So we just replace the A with negative 1/2. But we'll take this equation and we will solve it for P, and that will tell us the value for P. So we're going to solve negative 1/2 equals 1 over 4P. Let's do cross product equals cross product, and we'll get 1 times 4P is 4P equals negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So P is equal to negative 2 over 4, and that makes negative 1/2. That's my P value. We'll go to the next video to continue.